Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent. I'm Reverend Stephen, minister of this congregation. Thank you for joining us this morning as we gather once again, a spiritual community that seeks to be diverse and inclusive as we inspire love, work for justice, and grow together in community. Once again, welcome. Now, as we prepare for worship, let us take a moment to breathe, to invite the Spirit of love to be present among us, and to reflect on what a leap of faith means and how life calls us on to new adventures and the world of possibilities awaiting us as individuals and a congregation. Come, let us worship together.
A leap of faith is an act of believing something that is not always easily believed. My dear friend Terry Kent says, you gotta believe in miracles to receive one. I think believing is the leap of faith. I find myself always singing, it's gonna happen sometime, maybe this time I'll win. That's from the musical Cabaret. And that belief that it's gonna happen has been fueling me to take risks and just believe for many years. That's the leap of faith, believing the better road ahead is going to happen. Recently, directing the musical Freaky Friday was a big leap of faith for me. I, along with the cast, jumped in, we kept calm, and we carried on. That's the mantra, keep calm, carry on. I'm a big believer in that philosophy recently, and it may sound risk-averse, but carrying on is usually a leap of faith. And singing. Songs give me faith and fortitude and joy. How do you take a leap of faith? Today we will find out together. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within our chalice, a chalice to unite us in worship, to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth within us and among us, and to be a light to guide us on our journey as a community towards freedom. As we light our shared chalice, I invite you to light your home chalice. And please join in the words of our congressional covenant. We affirm that each life has brilliance, and when joined with others in joyful community, has the power to transform. We pledge ourselves and our resources to this journey. This covenant inspires and challenges us to dwell together in right relationship. We promise to extend hospitality, nurture community for all ages, encourage spiritual growth, honor diversity, and practice kindness.
One of the best gifts we can give ourselves in our busy lives and in these challenging times is time to care for our spiritual lives. Each week we create a time of shared stillness for prayer, reflection, or gratitude, meditation, or simply being. This is in order to remember who we truly are, to reflect on life, and to reconnect with the sacred mystery that is the very heart of life itself. I invite us to enter stillness for a time. I invite you to return as you're ready. Now let's join in singing our hymn of community, number 1002, Comfort Me. Life is a mystery that brings many things. Part of our experience is struggle and loss. In the spirit of being a community of compassion and care, we take time to share with each other sorrows, struggles, and losses that are in our hearts right now. If you have a sorrow, loss, or struggle to share, please use the chat box. I'll read them out loud. This morning, let us begin by praying for our world and especially for the Ukraine, for Russia, that they might work together for peace rather than war and no more lives be lost. Angie Finn, feeling love and concern for family members and anyone who struggles with depression and anxiety. Mary McCann says, I have terrible rage that becomes sorrow with the injustice in our world. George and Jane Rose ask comfort for the family of a dear friend, Bill, who died this week. Marilee Ash, grieving the loss of my 14-year-old dog, Sadhu, who passed this week. We're holding you in our hearts, Marilee. I invite us now to enter into a spirit of prayer and reflection with these words adapted from Reverend Sarah Lawal. Spirit of life and love, may we hear the cries of the world. May we be vessels of comfort and compassion. May we be vessels of hope and healing. For those we've named this morning, those we hold in our hearts and minds, those in the world in need of our care and compassion. May we hear the voice within calling us to ask what's possible, to walk to the edge, to take a leap of faith into possibility and fullness of life, and dance with the infinite for a while. May we nurture peace in our hearts and in our lives. May we raise our voices for peace in our world. May we hear each other's voices of love and encouragement, and may we dare to offer that love and encouragement in return, helping each other become our most loving and full selves. And may love prevail. Life also brings joy, wonder, and awe. We've experienced moments this week that have lifted our spirits. Once again, you're welcome to use the chat box to share your joys with us. And I begin by saying we celebrate with Kathy Kearns, who after 3 years of study and preparation, recently received approval from the Commissioned Lay Minister Council to be commissioned as a lay minister. Congratulations, Kathy. We will have a formal commissioning ceremony this spring. And there are some yays, congrats, and hoorays for Kathy. Oh, and a woot, too. All right, Michelle Boris, Bob Erdman and those that built the labyrinth in Tannery Park, Val for helping me clean it up after the long winter so we could use it this beautiful weather we can walk in. Emily Burnell Pertrue says, happy I was able to visit my youngest daughter in Australia, and also happy to see my mom, Guinevere, in this Zoom. And we're happy to see Guinevere and you, Emily, with us this morning. And David says, this morning I see my winter aconite are blooming. Elaine Bowen, happy birthday yesterday to Hal Walker and today to Chris Hurlwood. Benny says, I'm competing in the regional spelling bee in Akron. Good luck, Benny. And now, with gratitude for these and every blessing we receive in life, for the gift of life itself, this beautiful world we live in, for the companionship of one another on life's journey, and for this day of possibility, let us raise our hearts in gladness as we say together, Amen.
I'm not sure I want to remember what happened this crazy September. Things that we've taken for granted have been stripped away. My patience is wearing much thinner. With pandemics, I'm a beginner. How many years, how many tears, but I'll pray every day, get stronger every day, and hope every day for one day more. I'll find a new way, I've done it before. I've had a few trials, and I can try one more. Give me a challenge, I'll take it. Keep going until I make it. I will learn every day to find a way. This isn't the end. No lock on the door. I won't be afraid. I know I'll thrive once more. Give me a challenge, I'll take it. Won't give up until I make it. I will seize every day. I'll find a new way. I miss all the friends I'm not seeing. May have to be happy just being. I'll take help wherever I get it. I'll help you and you'll help me. It's been a while since coffee hour. I miss singing high in Hal's choir. How will it go? No one can know. But we'll pray every day, get stronger every day, be thankful every day for one day more. We'll find a new way. We've done it before. We've had a few trials and we can try one more. Give us a challenge, we'll take it. Keep going until we make it. We will seize every day. We'll find a new way. Somehow we'll find a new way.
'Live from Hobbs Hall, it's Sunday morning, Kent's Talk Show, where we explore ideas about life, religion, justice, and community. We have some special guests this morning who will join me for a conversation about a leap of faith. Our first guest needs no introduction. Colleen Taylor is our Director of Religious Education. She describes herself as a fierce mama bear who cares deeply about our kiddos, as she calls them. She's a creative and gifted storyteller. Let's give Colleen a warm UUCK welcome.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. So, I usually tell a story about this time during the service. And 2 years ago, we had to stop and shift and change everything, the whole way we did service. This building didn't exist. We were all very nervous. And so I found this book. It's called What Do You Do with a Chance? And I offered the idea that it could be a chance that we take, even though, everything was upended, everything was turned upside down. And now here we are in Hobbs Hall.
Can you believe it?
We're here.
This is amazing.
The building is here, and soon all of you will be in here too. And we're on the brink again for change. So I thought this was the perfect time to reread that story. What to Do with a Chance. So What Do You Do with a Chance is written by Kobe Yamada, one of my favorite authors, and illustrated by May Beeson. Let's begin. One day I got a chance. It just seemed to show up. It acted like it knew me, as if it wanted something. I didn't know why it was here. What do you do with a chance, I wondered. It fluttered around me. It brushed up against me. It circled me as if it wanted me to grab it. And I started to reach for it, but I was unsure, and so I pulled back, and it flew away. I thought about it a lot. I had wished I had taken my chance, and I realized I had wanted it, but I still didn't know if I had the courage. When another chance came around, I wasn't so sure, but I decided to try. I went to reach for it, and I missed. I fell. I was embarrassed. I felt foolish, and it seemed like everyone was looking at me. I decided I never wanted to feel that way again. So after that, whenever a chance came along, I ignored it. And the more I ignored them, the less they came around. Until one day, I noticed I hadn't seen a chance in quite a while. It was as if they had all disappeared, and I started to worry. What if I don't get another chance? I know I acted like I didn't care, but the truth was, I did. I still wanted to take a chance, but I was afraid, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be brave enough. And then I thought, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. I realized it was up to me. I promised myself that if I ever got another chance, I wasn't going to hold back. If I got another chance, I was going to be ready. Then, one seemingly ordinary day, I saw something shining far off in the distance. Is it possible? I hoped. Could this be my chance? I had to find out. I ran as hard and as fast as I could toward it. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I let go of my fears, I was full of excitement. And it wasn't that I was no longer afraid, but now my excitement was bigger than my fear. And as I got closer, I could see that this was a really huge chance. But this time, I was ready. As it came by, I reached out and grabbed it, and I held on tight with all my might. It felt so good to soar, to fly, to be free. I know that when I hold back, I miss out, and I don't want to miss out. There's just so much I want to see and to discover. So, what do you do with a chance? You take it, because it just might be the start of something incredible. I really love that story.
It's a wonderful story. Thank you, Colleen.
You're very welcome. So, friends, what do you do with a chance? What do chances become? Friendships, opportunities, exciting adventures. A chance is an invitation to take a leap of faith. So I wonder, what chance will you take?
Thank you for being a guest on our show. Our next guest is a star of the stage, world traveler, and adventurous spirit. Welcome, Eric Van Bars.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning. So, Eric, as you know, today we're talking about a leap of faith. And tell me, what does that mean to you?
Well, I will first say that Colleen is a tough act to follow. And so I'm going to take a leap and follow her cue by also sharing a reading, a poem titled Leap of Faith by Wendy L. Brown. Leap of Faith. Standing before a fork in the road, there is not a right answer or truth cast in stone. There are choices and plans and desire. There is the heart of fire and twist of fate. There is the unraveling of who you are and becoming. This I have found after bargaining with my hopes and my destiny. There is only a still, quiet voice within that tells me, trust what you know and then surrender. Leap if you must. Let your wings unfurl. Let your angels play catch. We drink dreams from a silver moon.
And welcome back. This morning we're talking with Eric Van Bars about a leap of faith. So, tell us more about some of your leaps of faith, Eric.
Well, for me, leaps of faith are more about trusting the journey than taking the risk. And I guess any adventure is risky, but my big leaps have always revolved around travel. In 2014, I was directing a show in South Korea, and I had a flight there that overnighted in Beijing. Well, I was told there was a hotel in the Beijing airport, and there is, in Terminal B, but I arrived in Terminal A, and when I got there, I was told that everyone must leave. The airport was closing. We had to come back in the morning. And I don't speak Chinese, so when I heard need a hotel in English, I said yes, and was given a slip of paper, and I was told to wait for the bus outside. And 10 minutes later, a black car pulls up, and two men signal for me to get in.
Yikes.
So I got in. They took the slip of paper, that was a good sign, and we started driving through Beijing in the middle, what felt to me like the middle of the night, but it was night. And so these thoughts started racing in my head as these two Chinese men were speaking in the front seat, and we were driving, and I thought, no one knows me, no one knows I'm here, I don't even know where I am, and we're racing through what seemed to be further and further from the center of Beijing. And finally the car turned a corner, and there stood before me a very well-lit hotel, people inside, and so I got out, and the rest of my life went on. But that adventure was a big leap of faith, but again, I trusted the journey.
Wow, that must have been exciting and scary at the same time. And speaking of exciting and scary, I understand you're going to be moving to Florida before long to be with your husband.
I am. That's a big leap of faith again, another chance, as Colleen mentioned, and another adventure. But I'm following love. I'm believing in love. Life is too short, and you got to take the leap, and when the leaping is good, and we realize we need to be together again. And the pandemic has really instilled in me this sense of what's happening to so many people, this great migration of taking time to rediscover what's important in your life and what is meaningful. And what's meaningful for me right now is to support my hubby and share in his joys. Jim has always wanted to be an artistic director, and for a long time. So when his dream job came up in Sarasota, we realized it was a chance we needed to relocate. And we had made a vow that we were not going to live apart anymore. Being in a showbiz marriage, we've suffered through years of separation, and we just don't want to do that anymore. So I also realized in my life that I'm on this 20-year cycle. I spent the first 20 years of my existence in the South in North Carolina, and then about 20 years in New York City, and now 22 years in Ohio, so I guess I'm overdue for the next move. And so our next plan will be an adventure of finding my new artistic and spiritual home.
You've been a member of this congregation for how long now?
Officially 13 years.
13 years, wow. I'm curious, in belonging to this congregation, has this congregation helped you take leaps of faith? How? Tell us more about at least one.
Oh, well, again, not so much geographical leaps because we're here. I guess the leap from next door into this building has been a wonderful leap. But this community has instilled in me the trust in my potential to be a mentor. I would say particularly with the coming of age program, that was empowering and a real stretch for me. I'm the class clown. You need someone to sing, dance, act goofy, no problem. But to share my inner faith and to share the responsibility of mentoring a young life, that was scary, and it was not part of my comfort zone. And so that trust gave a real leap, and the support I've received these past 13 years have allowed me to travel inward. And all combined, leaving Northeast Ohio, leaving my artistic and spiritual home for these past 20 years is going to be hard, and I don't really want to think about it anymore right now, so let's talk about you. What is your definition of a leap of faith?
Well, Eric, for me, it's all about trust. Even though I don't have all the details or know what's going to happen, I can trust that everything will be okay. Sharon Salzberg, who's a Buddhist author and teacher, says that faith reminds us of the ever-changing flow of life with all its movement and possibility. I just love that expression. So when we take a leap of faith, we're trusting that life offers possibility and that somehow things are going to work out. A leap of faith is always scary because it involves the unknown, like you've said. But it's also exciting because we discover new things about ourselves.
So can you share with our viewing audience a unique experience of yours in taking a leap of faith?
Mine was literally a leap of faith. A few years ago, a friend of mine who is very adventurous and likes to try new things said to me, "Stephen, I have an idea." This friend of mine has had some interesting ideas for things to do through the years of our friendship, so my reaction was a mix of curiosity and terror. I never knew what he was going to come up with. Some of the ideas he's had have been pretty wild and occasionally downright scary or dangerous. When he said, "Let's try rappelling," I said, "Sure, why not?" We went for a training session with a very good and patient teacher, and then we found an experienced guide. Don't try this at home, and don't go without an experienced guide. So to get started on rappelling down a cliff, I had to take a leap of faith outwards and backwards, and the chatter in my head was something else. What if the rope breaks? What if I hit the cliff too hard? I can't do this. I could just see the headline in the paper, "Local minister smashed on rocks due to overly adventurous friend." My friend was already at the bottom. There he was, 1 minute yelling encouragement and the next minute telling me to get on with it already. I finally took the leap and soared into the air for just a moment before the rope caught and I could do my first landing and then my next leap out. And then a few leaps later, a couple 100 feet down, it was over. I was on the ground. I was feeling both exhilarated and thinking, God, I'll never do that again.
I did that once, myself too. I appreciate that story. How do you see this congregation taking a leap of faith?
You know, you said something about it. We have taken some enormous leaps of faith in the last few years. We moved to using Zoom and having online congregational life and work. We didn't know how to do this or how it would work, but we value community so much, we took a leap with it. We had to. When the pandemic got bad, we had to move fast in order to protect the congregation. We opened our minds to a new reality, driven in part by necessity, and we learned along the way, trusting that somehow it was all going to work out. And here we are, sitting in Hobbs Hall, our brand new building, testing our technology. Talk about a leap of faith. The congregation identified a need, room to be more fully a community and serve each other and the greater Kent community. Oh, there were a lot of unknowns. But I thought about what John Burroughs said, leap and the net will appear. We were on that edge quite a while, almost ready to take the leap. And then we finally did. And when we did, the net appeared with a substantial bequest from Olive and Clinton Hobbs. But the real leap of faith begins now, because we don't know how to live into this building. Only that we will, knowing we have the space we need to grow in community and to welcome others who need what we have to offer. So we're going to leap together, learning as we go, and discovering what we can do. One of the leaps we'll make in the coming weeks is returning to in-person services and meetings and activities, renewing our connections with each other. It's so exciting. And we'll have open houses to show off this magnificent leap of faith. We're going to continue to live boldly.
You talk a lot about living boldly. Can you expand on that?
I do, don't I?
You do. You like that.
I do. Actually, I'm going to quote from a colleague of mine, Jake Morrill, who also talks a lot about it. He says, when a person lives boldly, true to their particular and sometimes peculiar vocation, you know what they really are called to do in life? When they recognize their unique gifts to share with the world and they share them, what they leave behind is a legacy and an invitation for others to live. That's true for a community as well. I think about our spiritual ancestors who lived boldly, sustaining this congregation and even rebuilding it when it declined, leaving a legacy that provides a spiritual home for you and for me and for all of our viewers. They recognize the value of our liberal tradition, a faith that is freeing and life-giving and invites us to live. Now it's our turn to leave a legacy. One way we do that is by making sure this congregation is thriving. It's time to start our annual pledge drive. Each year we ask for our congregation's financial support as well as the gifts of time, energy, and skill. It's a wonderful opportunity to remember that we all have gifts to share and that our community needs everyone to share.
Well, it just makes another year has passed, and here we are in the cycle of life, and to start this new year in this building, and to know as I'm leaving that I've seen this hall open is a great gift to me. Any final thoughts?
Well, first of all, we're going to miss you. I think back on some of the hilarious skits you've done, acting and singing and being some really crazy characters. I'm going to miss that a lot.
I'll come back.
Yes. And we'll find a great role for you to take on. So, our great leap of faith as a congregation is only beginning. I have a lot of faith in what this congregation can do, and I'm excited as I think about our future. And now I want to thank Eric and Colleen for being our guests today, along with our special musical guest, Katie Grigg Miller. We've talked a lot about things, so I want to invite us to sit in silence for a little bit and think about what a leap of faith means for each of us. One of the ways we make a leap of faith is by sharing what we have. Our spiritual community thrives in its shared life of worship, community, and ministry because each of us participates in the circle of giving and receiving. This is possible due to your generous gifts of money, time, and care for each other, and the recognition that we are all truly interconnected. Thank you. So we work to help others in our community thrive too. We give to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond that serve those in need. March's special offering is for United Help Ukraine. United Help Ukraine provides medical aid and humanitarian relief to the people of Ukraine who are suffering from and struggling against the Russian invasion of their country. And now, in the spirit of gratitude for the gift of each other and this community and the abundance that makes our generosity possible, we give and receive the offering as a sign of our shared commitment to the life and work of this congregation and beyond.
We hold our minds on our unfilled dreams, but sometimes life isn't all it seems. Your work is hard and the path is long. There'll be time to rest and time to sing your song. Just do your best and you'll be blessed. Keep the faith and run your race and you'll be blessed. God gives you strength and amazing grace. So keep the faith and run your race and you'll be blessed. It takes a leap of faith and a wish and a gift of grace. Try a different pace, or you'll land in the same old place. This road is long, so don't lose your song. Keep the faith, run your race, and you'll be blessed. When you're stuck between a blessing and a curse, and your preference is for better, but it's worse. When you think you're lost, can't find the way, keep your eyes on the prize every day. Just do your best and you'll be blessed. Keep the faith, run your race, and you'll be blessed. God gives you strength and amazing grace. So keep the faith and run your race, and you'll be blessed. It takes a leap of faith and a wish and a gift of grace. Try a different pace, or you land in the same old place. When you think you're lost, can't find the way, keep your eyes on the prize every day. Just do your best and you'll be blessed. Keep the faith, run your race, and you'll be blessed. God gives you strength and amazing grace. So keep the faith, run your race, and you'll be blessed. Keep the faith and run your race, and you'll be blessed.
Thank you, Katie, very much. Now to bring our time of reflection and worship to its close, please join in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds until we are together again. Now I invite you to join in singing our closing hymn, Life Calls Us On.
Here in reverence now we gather for the blessings we have known, with a pledge to one another that we journey not alone. Joy and sorrow make us wise into all that lives and dies. Love calls us on. Love calls us on. Words and deeds of those before us, they can hear to keep us strong. Lend our voices in the chorus of creation's living song. Courage bids us lift our eyes upward to the shining skies. Hope calls us on. Hope calls us on. Loyal guides in love and duty, lead us with a trust and light. Blessed are they whose inward beauty shows the path of truth and right. Honor is their earthly prize. By their work we realize faith calls us on. Faith calls us on. We have shared a radiant hour when the truth has made us free, and the Spirit's gracious power dreamed of good that yet shall be. Bright the path before us lies. Joyful pilgrims now we rise. Life calls us on. 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 Life calls us on.
These words are by Hunter S. Thompson. Life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." And now, renewed in spirit for the leap of faith we are called to take as a congregation, and trusting in the good that yet shall be, let us go forth in hope and possibility as we continue inspiring love, seeking justice, and growing in community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And I see the divine light in you.